Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the King, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are taking a look at a fan-made chapter that is focusing on the werewolf. And obviously, as you guys know, recently we had a Dead by Daylight teaser for the next chapter, and a lot of people have speculated that the new chapter is going to be a werewolf. Now, we still don't have a lot of information about this, but it is always fun to speculate what this type of character would look like in the game, and today, that is exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking a look at what a werewolf would be like in DBD. Before we jump on into this video, as you guys know, we are in a race with Polyester to 100,000 subscribers. And in 4 days, we have gained over 4,000 subs. That is absolutely insane, and I really appreciate that. So thank you all for everyone for subscribing, but still over 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So please consider subscribing down below if you enjoyed this video. And if you think you subscribed, double check because sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you. With that being said, let's talk about this werewolf chapter coming on into the game. So in front of me, I have a fan-made concept. This is made by Semi-Matic. The link to their post will be down below. They actually went as far as going ahead as putting survivors, lore, and things like that. And we're going to be taking a look at pretty much most of the stuff that they have covered on this. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be balanced towards, you know, the game. It's just a little fun theory. So if you're expecting balance or anything to be good, it won't be up to par with Dead by Daylight standards, as it's all just for fun. But with that being said, we can go ahead and jump on into this. So let's take a look. We have the werewolf, a ravenous killer able to rush down vulnerable survivors with his ability, the Midnight Curse. With his perks of Aftermath, Sacrificial Calling, and Neglect Recompense, the werewolf can hinder the benefits of their survivors and punish those who isolate themselves. So as you can see, we have all of the perks on screen right now. Before we actually take a look at the perks, we're going to take a look at the werewolf's power to see exactly what the werewolf can do. So let's go ahead and read about that. And their power, or their ability, is called Midnight Curse. A clock symbol will appear next to the werewolf's ability symbol and tick until 30 seconds. At 30 seconds, it will turn red. Upon it turning red, the werewolf must put a survivor in the dying state to progress to the next hour. So we have hours 1, no effects are applied for hour 1. We have hour 2, lunge range is moderately increased. The open time is 0.7. Hour 3, each successful basic attack will give a survivor a broken status effect for 15 seconds at midnight. Once 30 seconds have passed during hour 3, press the active ability button to start midnight. The movement speed is increased to 5.7 and the tear radius is increased to 40 meters. Each successful basic attack will apply the broken status effect for 30 seconds. Successful basic attack cooldowns are reduced by 60 seconds. All auras of survivors outside your tear radius are shown to you. Midnight has a maximum duration of 30 seconds. Once midnight is over, you'll return to hour 1. So that essentially is this killer's power. I love the theme that's going on with the whole midnight concept and time, because as you know, when the moon is full, the werewolf is at his strongest, or they transform into werewolves in actual, like, you know, lore. So this is pretty cool, having something like this being incorporated on into the game. And of course, with Dead by Daylight, it would be cool if they added some effects. What if, like, the moon turns red or something like that? A blood moon, that would be awesome. A cool little thing that they could do is basically, you know, for add-on, I haven't read any of the add-ons yet, or for midnight, imagine if it puts you into the dying state. That would be very interesting. Now let's actually take a look at some of those add-ons. For the sake of time, I will be summarizing what add-ons will affect rather than giving each individual one, other than the 2 ultra rares. So we have the ultra rares right here. The first one is Father's Guts. Feasting on the remains of a person who you used to love. Hour 1, Hour 2, and Hour 3 will no longer require a survivor in the dying state and will occur automatically. And next is Bloody Uniform Jacket. The jacket you took with you is now torn and covered by the blood of your many prey. It is now a new symbol, one of hunger. the duration of midnight is temporarily increased by 30 seconds. And then we have all the other ones which affect the duration of midnight, time between hours, duration of hours, threes effect, midnight's terror radius, and midnight's aura's reading. And in the bottom right, we have a special thanks to Nuclear Burrito. So this is a really cool concept. I love the artwork that they have put together for this with the clocks, and having a concept like this in Dead by Daylight would be really interesting. Now, obviously, if this was fine-tweaked and, you know, fine-tuned to become better, it could definitely work in the game with having something progressively over time, similar to Freddy, and you actually have to performing your job well in order to make your power better. It's a very interesting concept there. Let's go ahead now and take a look at some of these perks, and focus on what this killer can do. So my cam is in the way, so I'll make it a little bit smaller for now. Aftermath is the first perk. When any generator is completed, all survivors within 24-meter range of the generator suffer from the exposed status effect for 15, 22, and 25 seconds, and their locations are revealed to the killer for 5 seconds. Now, this is a very, very, very strong perk. This is something that I've mentioned to come on into the game for a very long time, and it will be really awesome. Now, revealing the auras is a little bit strong. It kind of is like Bitter Murmur. In fact, it almost exactly is like Bitter Murmur. So I think only the exposed status effect would be necessary, considering when you pop a generator anyways, you know where the generator is. This is really good because if someone has 99 to gen, as soon as the gen pops, you can smack them down. In 25 seconds, you can snowball and get somebody else. So it's a really interesting and unique perk, and I see this perk working not only for this killer, but for pretty much every killer. This would probably be my go-to perk, and I think the only way to make this more balanced is to have this being a hex totem, and the auras not being revealed. That way, you know, if you get hit by it once, you can be like, all right, let's go ahead and get rid of that. The only other perk that really gives you exposed to my knowledge that's not a hex is probably Make Your Choice. And everything else is pretty much a hex, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but Nowed, Haunted Grounds, and things like that, they're all hex perks. So this could fit well as a hex perk, considering if you're right on top of Survivor when they're about to pop this gen, it will be really, really strong. Anyways, we're not here to critique how well it would work on into the game. Let's go take a look at some of the other perks. The next one is Sacrificial Calling. Each time you hook a survivor, you'll receive a speed increase of 7% for 30, 45, and 60 seconds. For each survivor sacrifice, you will earn a token. For each token, you'll receive a permanent speed increase of 2%. Does not apply to abilities. Wow, that is insanely strong. Obviously, again, we will need some fine tweaking. As I said at the beginning of the video, it's not up to par with Dead by Daylight standards, but having a speed increase when hooking a survivor is definitely cool. Permanent speed increase, I don't think would work good, considering, you know, we already have a perk that gives you speed, and even that, you know, is negated, and that perk is Play With Your Food. We don't really have anything that permanently gives you speed, unless, again, it is a hex in Nowed, or if anything else that I'm missing. So, you know, earning a token, or maybe just I would rather see it being just a little bit of speed boost for about maybe I'd say 20 seconds or something like that. Because if anybody's around and they're trying to loop you, it would be pretty difficult. But hey, you never know. The final perk we have is Neglect and Recompense. And this one says, each time a survivor is rescued from the hook, all other survivors outside of a 32-meter range of the hook suffer from the hindered status effect for 20, 40, and 60 seconds, and the exhausted effect for 60 seconds. Movement speed of affected survivors are reduced by 7%, and this has a cooldown of 60 seconds. Now, this one is pretty nice, so it, again, you know, benefits you if you're doing your job correctly. Every time you hook a survivor, you will benefit from this, and because it is, the survivors will be hindered. Pretty nice perk all around. And there we go, everybody. That is basically the Werewolf summed up. We do have, you know, a little bit of lore that they've gone ahead and written down. In case you guys are interested, you can take a look. And they also created a survivor with survivor perks. I'll leave the post down below in case you guys are interested in taking a look at that. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is pretty much the werewolf theory in a nutshell. And it's pretty awesome. Maybe we do see a werewolf coming up into the game. Maybe it doesn't have to be a wolf. Maybe it can be a were-rat. I know a lot of people have been talking about Dr. Jekyll, I believe, and Mr. Hyde, or the other way around. It probably sounded silly there, but That is, from what I heard, a public domain, so it could be something like that, and they could tie that in with Vigo, or it could just be, again, a big curveball. We're going to have to wait and see. I can think that we're going to get some teasers this week, maybe even tomorrow we could be seeing something. Maybe we could see another teaser, or maybe a full trailer. Don't really know, because we don't know when the PTB is going to be out. If the PTB is to be out on Tuesday, which, you know, might be a little unlikely considering it's really fast, we'll probably get some news tomorrow, so make sure you guys are subscribed in case you want to keep up with that. If not, we can expect it coming out throughout the week, and then we can see the next week, which is a likely date that we're going to be seeing the PTB. Again, we don't really know, but we'll have to wait and see. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is going to wrap up this werewolf theory. Maybe, again, like I said, we'll get a were-rat as it goes with the lore. We'll have to see. We've been seeing mice all the time. We've been seeing the alchemist, so maybe it's pointing to a bigger picture. Again, we'll wait and see. But with that being said, I've been the King. I tip my crown to you guys. Make sure you leave a like down below if you enjoy, share it with your friends, and subscribe to help us on the race. Shout out to all the Patreon viewers. Again, if you guys want to take part in just, you know, just getting some extra content, the cheapest there is $1. If you guys want to go ahead and take a look at that, it's really appreciated. With that being said, I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fall.